Hello everybody, welcome back to Goss's Arsenal podcast. Good morning. How are you guys doing? It's a beautiful morning, by the way. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and it's a beautiful week because we have two big games, one against Leicester City at the end of the week and one in the midweek winner where we shall take on Benfica in the second leg of the Europa League, and that is what I'm here to discuss, the predicted lineup and what does this game really mean for us? Is it a final like many people are actually saying it is? Because for me, I think the truth is, I think it's a final. I said it that Europa League is our only hope, and Manchester City just confirmed that over the weekend. They didn't treat us so well. It was a bad performance from Arsenal, and it was totally, a mad run by Manchester City. But I still believe the Premier League is still open, very open. I know we don't have any chances to top 4. We might not have chances for top 6. However much it looks a little bit open, but the Premier League is so much open. When you look at the Premier League table right now, you might not actually think that Arsenal is so is written off, because we have 34 points. We have 34 points. Right now, Liverpool have 40 points. They're just 6 points away, and they are really having a bad run. Tottenham Hotspur, they're 6 points away and they're having a bad run. So probably the rest for the Premier League, top 8, top 7, top 6 is still on, and we shall discuss that when I come to on Friday, and I'll be talking about Leicester City and Arsenal and what that game actually will mean. But I want us to talk about Benfica today, and that is the reason as to why I'm here. We're gonna be looking at the predicted lineup and try to see what does this game really mean for Arsenal. What are the chances that Arsenal can actually beat Benfica, and if we go through, is this the start to a silverware? Because for me, I think Arsenal need silverware this season. If anyway, we are going to boost our our odds this season. If we are going to add anything to our season, we need some kind of silverware, and for me that could be the Europa League. It can't come easy because you have clubs like Tottenham Hotspur who are technically on paper better than us, teams like Manchester United who are better than us on paper, even on the pitch, in terms of quality, although I think their deliverance and quality on the pitch really matters a lot, and they have their own issues. But I still think Arsenal can actually fight for that Europa League silverware, better than fighting for top 4 or better than fighting for top 6. I think it's if you ask any Arsenal fan around there, it's gonna be easy for us to win the Europa League than actually catch top 4. And that's why we're here to get you the predicted lineup, see what Arsenal should put on on the pitch, what Mikel Arteta should actually come up on the pitch with, so that we can actually get those 3 points that could actually see us go through to the round of 16. Alright, so here we are, and let's go straight down to the predicted lineup. I know this must be a little bit hectic, but I'll handle it. First and foremost, let's go with Burnley. I think now there are no questions. If we are going for a final, we are going for our first final in the Europa League and of this campaign, and every game we play is gonna be a final. So you've got to pick your best players. I would recommend we play a 4-2-3-1 in this case, but I'm going to line it up in a 4-3-3, because I know Mikel Arteta, if he doesn't use a 4-2-3-1, he's going to use a 4-3-3 obviously. So I'll go with Burnley now, and I pray he doesn't cause me a lot of problems there. Pablo Mari and Rob Holding against Manchester City, I was disappointed. I can't reward their performances. Their performance. Yeah, I know. The rest of the 90 minutes, they looked a little bit solid, but that goal, there is no way you're telling me we conceded a free header to Raheem Sterling. It doesn't make sense. I would rather see David Luiz come back, and I don't know actually why he didn't play David Luiz over the weekend. I just don't get it. We need that kind of leadership, and Pablo Mari doesn't have it, and Rob Holding doesn't have it. And David Louis has it. And you know, however much I don't like him, however much I think when his contract expires, you let him go. I think he's been having a good season. You know, he should have played him over City. So I'll play him there with Rob Holding. For me, I think this is the centre back pairing. If it's Holding or Gabriel, or Holding and Louis, that should be the centre back pairing. But using Gabriel Magalhaes and David Louis, or using Louis and Murray, or using Holding and Murray, for me, I think Holding has been having a good season, yeah. So you'd rather you have to play him there. You know, he automatically gets into the starting lineup, which is okay. Now I would either play David Louis or Gabriel alongside Rob Holding, and for security reasons, you would rather play David Louis because I think Gabriel is a little bit sloppy these days. But in the long term, I think it should be Gabriel Magalhaes and Rob Holding, or Gabriel and William Saliba. So we shall see about that when we reach the summer. Hector Bellerin, of course, comes in as the only right back we do have. So there are no questions about that, as Kian Tierney returns to the left, the left wing at the defense. Now the midfield is where I have a lot of problems, because we should have won that game. The first leg, we should have beaten Benfica something like 3-1, 4-1, because we created the chances. And I think that is one of the games where I think our midfield was fully functional, defending well, creating chances. There are a few times when Benfica ran the show, but they were not significant for me. They were not significant. If there is anything that I'm gonna blame, it's gonna be the forward line. Why don't you score the goals? We had the opportunities. Aubameyang missing sitters. It was so hilarious. But in the midfield, let's go with don't mention El Neni. Let's go with Granit Xhaka. There, I think his performances need to be rewarded. Now, I'm going to play Emil Smith-Rowe, not Martin Odegaard. I'm gonna play Emil Smith-Rowe, Granit Xhaka, and Dani Ceballos, and I'm gonna give you the reason why I'm leaving out Emil Smith-Rowe out of the the midfield three. Look, I think we're gonna play Benfica. It's 1-1, and they know what they need is, because in this game it looks like we are home, although it's not going to be at the Emirates Stadium, but we are at home. So that means we have a goal. We have a goal in. We have what, an extra goal, because it went 1. We scored away from home. So what we actually want is a 0-0. That would actually work for us if we go for a 0-0, or if we win it by any margin. By any margin, any win. Now what Benfica actually want is either get a 1-1 draw and push that to extra time or penalties or wherever it might end, or go for a 2-2 draw. We shall be out if we go for any draw that is higher than 1-1, starting from 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-5. Mention it, we are out. So what they're gonna do is they're not going to pack the bus. They're not going to play the low blow, because it doesn't benefit them. They need to get hold of the midfield, and they play 4 midfielders, and we've seen that over time, and last time I told you they're gonna bring 4 midfielders in. They're gonna play either a 4-4-2, or they're gonna play a 3-4-3 or something like that, and they did play 4-4-2, and I think they might play 5 midfielders, or they might play 4 midfielders in this game. But they're not going to play a low block, because it doesn't benefit them. They have to win this game, or if they can't win it, what they have to do then is actually go for a draw that is that sees it rain goals. Now what you have to do as Mikel Arteta, now their plan, what they want. They want to score goals, yeah, because a 0-0 doesn't benefit them, a 1-0 doesn't benefit them, a 1-0 when they lose doesn't benefit them. So they're going to put a lot of pressure, and I think this is the match we're going to see the real Benfica. We never used our chances. If we had beaten Benfica 3-0 or 3-1 away from home, this should have been over. This could be over. But now what's going to happen is, the Benfica coming in this game knowing it's a final. Arsenal looking at it as final, and we are looking at it as a final. They're gonna throw everything at it. And that's why I'm putting these midfielders, because Ceballos has that kind of defensive something. Smith Rowe as well has that very good hard work and work rate. And then Granit Xhaka, of course, is the solid man in the midfield. Now, make no mistake, I would want to add Martin Odegaard, but this time not as my number 10. I would put him on the left wing, and I think we might not need a number 10 because something tells me we might not have the ball all the time like we did in the first leg. So I put Martin Odegaard on the left wing. Now I'm putting Martin Odegaard on the left wing, not typically to be a winger, like you might think, but I'm giving him a free role. Literally, I want to give him a free role. Do whatever he wants. Stretch play as much as well. Of course, he doesn't want to go into the corners of the pitch, and we know that by now, and we do appreciate that. So he's going to his role is going to be leading those counterattacks against Benfica, and I think he can actually do that. Instead of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I would rather play Alexander Lacazette, because I think Aubameyang needs time. I don't know whether he needs time off or something like that, but I don't feel he is so ready. I just don't feel. Yeah, he got a hat-trick against Leeds, and everybody was excited, and I was excited as well. But I don't think he's that kind of ready. I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there this season. So I'll play Alexander Lacazette, and I think Mikel Arteta needs to revise this. There's no way you're rewarding a player for his good performances by throwing him out of the starting lineup. It's hilarious. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense, and he needs to work on that. But that's the predicted lineup: Leno, Luiz Holding, Bellerin, Tierney, Xhaka, Ceballos, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, and Alexander Lacazette. In the 70s, I would introduce Nicola Pepe, and in this around 75 minutes or 76 minutes, I would introduce Alexander Lacazette on this match. Now, many of you are going to ask this question, and I'm very happy that you might ask it. Why is Gabriel Martinelli not here? It's a big question. Now, and I remember I told you that Pepe, Willian, and Martinelli now have one wing to fight for. And they're very unfortunate that at times that is where Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang wants to play. And that's where he's comfortable, especially this season. There's going to be a lot of competition in that area. You need to fight for your place. You need to fight for, to deserve to play there. And I think Martinelli now knows that, and Willian knows that, because Martinelli sees Willian on the bench. At times he sees Pepe on the bench, and Pepe has been very terrific, very, very, very good in the past, in the past game. So I think now it communicates. If you cannot prove a point to your bosses, you're not going to play football. And I hope that is how he thinks about it. I don't want to hear rumors that he wants to leave or something like that, because it won't do any it won't do him any good or do us any good as Arsenal fans or Arsenal. But the truth is, I feel Gabriel Martinelli needs to do more. I think he was greatly affected by the injury, and you could see Saka is now ahead of him. Saka wasn't ahead of him last season. I think he needs to work more. But I think that is the predicted lineup. And I'll come back with a match preview, Mikel Arteta's press conference, and much more about this game. Have a blessed stay off the channel, and I love you so much. Smash the like button and subscribe.